presidential director in my organization. So this man has done all the things and checked all the boxes. So I'm excited for you to hear more information from him. I do have a PhD in integrative medicine and in functional medicine. I am not a medical doctor. So, of course, any of the information that I'll be sharing today about LifeWaves technology is not to make any claims to treat, cure, or diagnose. This picture on the right is from this past weekend. Gary and I were in Kansas City with his Rockstar team. If you heard me interview his senior presidential director, Charlene Saylor, it was a former massage therapist, just the other day. Gary and I were there, and this is their little photo booth that they had. It is absolutely stunning. We had a ball in Kansas City. So why X39? Why this patch, this non-transdermal patch? This patch is non-invasive. It has no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants, no dosing necessary. What is X39? It is a patented form of light technology. We're going to talk about this and how it works and how to apply it. So X39, as you can see, I put it right here on my chest. I put it here so you could see it. But it can go on the back of the neck. It can go on the belly button. Honestly, any spot works. This works with your body's heat or light that you are emitting. And so the key is to put it on in the morning when you get up, leave it on 12 hours, and take it off and throw it away, or put it on your pet. Repeat that process daily and make sure that you are staying hydrated, at least half your body weight in ounces in water. So why are we putting this patch on every day? What is it doing? Well, it is activating stem cells. Whose stem cells? Your stem cells. You had an abundance of them when you were a child, and as you have aged, you have less and less that are active. So by the time you're in your 30s, you have about half of those stem cells still active. Stem cells are the cells that are responsible for repairing and regenerating whatever's needed in the body. Your body is smart. It knows how to do that. But by the time you're in your 60s, and you'll hear from Superman here, he's beyond the 60s, 73 years young, you have no stem cells that are active. They're all dormant. And so we know that as we age, we heal much slower. So what does activating your stem cells do? Well, stem cells, as I said, have the ability to repair and regenerate whatever is needed in your body. They are what we call pluripotent or changeable. Your stem cells have the ability to turn into any cell, tissue, or organ that is needed. And because your body is so smart, it's going to prioritize what it feels necessary first. So your stem cells will start marching towards whatever is needed first. Maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your brain, maybe it's a broken bone. We cannot direct our stem cells. The key is to wear this patch 1 month for every decade you are old. So we know the second you put it on, within the first 24 hours, this patch, the wavelength of light from this patch that enters your body is immediately elevating GHKCU copper peptide. Now, we don't have time to really get into all the benefits. You can go to PubMed, type in GHKCU. You'll see 13 pages of benefits. We call it the fountain of youth. But it does reset genes over 4,000 to a young, youthful, healthy state. And on day 1, it starts the process of waking up those dormant stem cells. Why we recommend 1 month for every decade of life is because it takes time. If you're in your 30s, you still have half of them active. So, of course, it would take 3 months to wake the other half up. If you're in your 60s or 70s, like Gary is, you're looking at 6, 7 months and beyond. Does that mean you're going to cross all the things off your box? Check all the things off your list of issues and symptoms and problems in that time span? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know, but our body does. And so our job is to stay consistent and stay hydrated. So what do people normally experience? Well, we've done over 90 clinical studies, as you'll hear me talk about here in just a minute. And in these studies, about 80% of the population being studied experience some of these things in the first 3 to 6 weeks. So we look at energy level, vitality, we look at stamina, improved quality of sleep, deeper sleep, longer periods of sleep, pain reduction. Gary coined the phrase one patch wonder because his wife Barb had pain reduction on day one. Yep, she's there. I know she's listening in. Absolutely. And so we know that it can help with those aches and pains. Accelerated wound healing. If you've had an accident or an injury, GHK in and of itself reduces the healing time by 40 to 50%. Of course, we can see an improved skin appearance and mental clarity, concentration, focus, getting rid of that brain fog, and a reduction in inflammation. So some of these things are happening pretty early on, right? And they're only happening when you put the patch on. So we get up in the morning, we put our patch on, we leave it on 12 hours, we stay hydrated, we take it off and we throw it away or put it on our pet. We get up the next morning and we do the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month. So this is our patent. And you don't just get a patent. David himself, as you'll hear me say, holds over 150 patents. This X39, we have a 20-year patent on this patch. We are just barely into that year 5 of a 20-year patent. That means this technology is only available here through the person that's introducing this to you. And what does our patent state? In the blood, when looking at blood work, we put this patch on and we are elevating copper peptide, that GHKCU, and activating stem cells. That is no small feat. 10 years in the lab it took David to figure out how to do this. So what are some of those longer term benefits? Well, reverse aging. That's right there on the top of my list of things that I was interested in with this technology. Keeping your body young and youthful. A longer lifespan. I was very interested in longevity, aging gracefully, looking at that health span. Prevention was key for me, and it still is. When I look at being 50 years old and knowing that because I've been patching for 4 years, my organs, my systems in my body, my biological age is half of my chronological age. What does that mean for longevity, vitality, overall wellness, and prevention? I don't know a 25-year-old on the planet with Alzheimer's or dementia, right? So barring obviously what we just went through, that pandemic in 2020, you don't see 25-year-olds with heart disease, diabetes, or cancer either. It just doesn't happen. So keeping your body young and youthful so you age gracefully. And of course, that amazing wellness and outstanding health that comes along with that. So let's meet David Schmidt, our inventor, our owner, our CEO. He's been an inventor his entire life, but he actually developed this technology for the U.S. Navy SEALs over 20 years ago. The first patch he invented is called Energy Enhancer, and that triggers beta oxidation, which means turns body fat into fuel. The SEALs, he was inventing survival equipment for them, and they asked him to contribute to the problem they were having with sustainability and stamina and endurance in the field. They were on a lot of stimulants. David invented the Energy Enhancer, and looking, of course, at the cellular function in the body and triggering that beta oxidation using the body's own resources for energy instead of putting something chemically into the body. That worked fantastic until, of course, 9/11 happened and our U.S. Department of Defense pulled out of that mini sub-SEAL mission, and David then went to work doing research. He spent a couple years at Stanford University with Richard Quick, who is a 6-time USA Olympic female gold medalist athlete coach. And after 2 years at Stanford with those clinical studies, he founded LifeWave in 2004. We just celebrated our 20-year anniversary back in November. David actually spent 10 years with the most renowned stem cell university in the world, the National University of Ireland, trying to figure out how to activate, elevate, and mobilize stem cells with light. Now, over the last 20 years, he's invented a dozen different patches, and as you could see from the patent, X39 has been on the market almost 5 years now. So after 10 years in the lab, he figured it out. Thank God he did. Holding over 150 patents himself personally, with over 90 clinical studies done from doctors and researchers and labs across the globe. If you'd like to get your hands on this information, you're going to get with the person that invited you. They are going to be able to get you the information for the site that these studies and patents are on. So as I said, David has developed a suite of light technology products with more innovative technologies coming out very soon. We do have laboratories and manufacturing in California and in Ireland. So let's talk a little bit about LifeWave here before we hear from Gary. As I mentioned, 2004 was the start of LifeWave. We're technically in over 82 countries right now. X39, 10 years in the making, $4.5 million to develop, and here it is officially launched in 2019. We have experienced a growth rate of 3,000%. 3,000%. When I got into LifeWave, we were doing about 25 million a year in sales. Last year, we ended just at 600 million in sales. That was a 200 million increase over the previous year. We are the fastest growing direct sales network marketing company in the world. And this is just one of the awards, the Bravo Award that we received last year, but there have been many awards that LifeWave has received and is still receiving. So we'll be sharing those as they become published. So the opportunity here is for you to become a brand partner. You have a unique patented opportunity. We are not a Me Too product. David is literally the inventor of our technology. We are not outsourcing ingredients from anywhere. He is downloading the information, and that information is becoming fruition and product for us. So we are a professional direct sales and multi-level marketing company. We have a very simple system with only 2 teams. We are a binary. We have easy and effective building strategies, and we have built-in onboarding systems and trainings. This is plug and play. So you have 3 options when you join LifeWave. You can come in with our core pack, our advanced pack, or our premium. The question is, do you want good pricing, better pricing, or best pricing? As you purchase each pack, depending on which pack you purchase, your price per sleeve, a sleeve is a month's supply, goes down significantly. It's up to you. You can come in at any level and still have ability to get to the top of the company. But if you're looking about minding your money, right, the best bang for your buck is going to be that premium. Our price per sleeve is the lowest in that premium pack. So you can earn money many different ways. The income you earn from LifeWave is, of course, when you enroll people, but you can also earn binary bonuses, binary commissions based on the people you enroll, as well as the people they enroll and the people they enroll. Being a binary, you get paid through the depths of your binary. And we do have generational matches for helping those people become brand partners and develop them into leaders, as you can see, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation. Extra bonuses on top of that. So financial freedom is your next exit, and I'm excited for you to be able to hear from Superman Gary Humber and his financial freedom success story. So Gary, you and I have known each other about 15 years, buddy. And, this is probably, I would say, the most remarkable time in our history of friendship. And I would love for you to take it away and share with everyone that's on here now your financial success story, where you came from before LifeWave and where you are now and what's this done for you.
Well, Dr. Stacy, thank you so much for the invite. Thank you for your leadership, all you do. You are amazing. And if anyone doesn't know that, they're in for a treat because you are just the role model of leadership. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this team. I'm still blown away when I hear #1 enroller, #1 income earner on your team. You're the big cheese in my book. So to be, anywhere up there with you, is an honor and a privilege. And I will say unequivocally, it's by the grace of God that we are where we are. I don't claim to be anything special out of the ordinary. I go to work. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what's taking place. But, prior to LifeWave, I was in hospitality for 30 years. I was a director of catering for Marriott and Hyatt hotels. I went to work in a suit, every day and a tie and would do the, all that I could and kind of learned a lot, from that. And then after in 2003, I was at a country club and and I was kind of the guy that hired me. We were like this, and the guy that came after him, we were like this. Okay, I mean, he was a bean counter, and he was a money guy, and he just cut, and I was the first of the three of us between a director of catering, chef, and a marketing person that was to go, and I had no idea, what we were going to do, and so fast forward to 2020, okay, sometime in there. I was doing in-home sales. I was driving 50 to 100 miles a day, give or take. At the time, I was working for a guy. There were 18 people in the office. Somehow, I think he thought I was number 19. And I was not on his favorite list. Couldn't tell you what I did. I showed up on time. I dressed professionally. I was courteous, polite, and like I've always been, I believe. And for whatever reason, I was on his least favorite. And I even said, Mark, what did I do to you? He'd send me an hour and 45 minutes one way in Florida through some kind of, barren country up in where I can't even tell you where it was, but Sebring was one place I'll never forget, and some others, and because he wanted me to, to resign, and my personal mantra for most of my life is quitting is not an option. I was a athlete in college and high school. I wrestled. I was a state champion, and in wrestling, you just can't quit. So it really taught me perseverance at a very early age. And I remember thinking somewhere around that 70 mark that it just kind of hit me that there was an expiration date. Like, at some point, 75, 6, 7, or 8, it seems to be the age expectancy for males, and women, I guess, is a little longer. And hang on a second here. And I lost you for a second. So we, I thought, you know what? I guess I'll have to sell the house and do the car and sell pay off the first mortgage, the second mortgage, and do all the things that I needed to do because I didn't have. Can you see me okay? Because I lost you on the screen.
Yep, we got you. You're good. I can see you.
All right, good. So what happened was I just thought, well, I guess we'll have to sell the house, and pay off the first mortgage, the second mortgage, the credit cards, the solar panels, and the what else? I think there was one. Oh, credit cards. And I just thought Barbara is not going to like this, okay? Because we're private people, and we say good morning to our neighbors, but we're not hanging out, and our life is with each other. And I told her the other day that 45 years wasn't enough. I want another 45. And I just I got a wonderful wife that I just enjoy being here with. I get to work from my phone. And I told that to a realtor last night. I said, I get to work from my phone from my home. So, I kind of thought it didn't, just so we kind of moved on, and I got the phone call on June 10th from Gala about this, patch stem cell and what it did for Eddie, and I thought it sounded too good to be true. So we were 10 minutes. I was sold. Let's try it. Barbara, 7 years of chronic hip pain was gone in 4 hours. And she's the original one patch wonder. And I mentioned the other day that I had 5, and I told someone this today, when I started, I had 5 superstars. Okay? If God would have said, I want you to pick 5 people, these would have been the 5. And for whatever reason, it didn't really click. I used to work with all of them and under them in other MLMs. And in my 50 years of doing MLMs, Amway, Melaleuca, Options Riders, Zeke Rewards, Real-Time Pain Relief, my last one that with you and Gala, and I was way down the list of people with It Works. And we made maybe $200 a month, enough to cover our coffee and whatever. We still drink the coffee. But that was kind of, what we did. And I never had success in those things for whatever reason. I I didn't do a whole lot different, I don't believe, than I did now. But once again, I believe the Lord answered prayers and His timing, and I'm thankful, grateful. And I write tithing checks today for more than I used to make in a week. I wake up on Monday morning with more in the account than I made in the best job I ever had in a week. And all by the grace of God. So these five people didn't do a whole lot. One, came back. He left and came back. Another one passed, unfortunately. Another one, it took, a good 6 months to 9 months to kind of wake up to the opportunity. And I just kept doing, calling up, reaching out to people, going to work like I still do, and sharing this product. First person that kind of came on board was Catherine, and took a little while to get things going. But Mom had an incredible testimonial. Mark, took 3 minutes off his run, and Catherine had a number of things, and then Charlene came on board, and then Crystal came on board, and I kind of worked with those people, but so things were kind of progressing, and I was seeing, and you had said to me, and I say it to my people now, that you'll eventually make in one day what you used to make in a week. And we've done that several times. I remember it $3,000 a week. I was like, oh my God, I never made 3,000. At $6,000, oh my God. At 8,000, oh my God. And on up the ladder. And last week we I did a total in 6 weeks. I made more than I made in the best job I ever had in all my career.
In a year?
In a year, yes, yes. And that was director of catering. I was an award winner and all of that stuff at this country club. I was, noted, did very well. And I worked it, but I make that from my living room now, or from wherever we are. I'm not driving and putting in 50, 60, 70 hours, working for someone. I'm on the phone a bunch, helping as many people as I can, and I'm glad to do that. And so things progressed, and a year and a half in, I remember, again, part of the story, I called up to pay off the second mortgage, and I didn't pay attention to the bills. I gave Barbara the money. She paid everything. I couldn't tell you what we owed, how much. And the lady said to me, she said, "Sir, do you realize you have 28 years left on your second mortgage?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that." She says, and I'm thinking, am I going to work until I'm 100? Yeah, I guess, And so we paid all of that off. If you'd have driven to our neighborhood, we have two big oak trees kind of near our driveway. Well, the driveway patio was cracked. The sidewalk had a couple of different, heights in it. I tried to get the county to fix it. They couldn't. Our yard was not the best. And basically, we've replaced all of that with pavers and landscaping, lighting, and we probably have the best looking yard in our development, okay? All by again, once again, the good Lord shining down on us, and I'm so grateful. But the biggest thing that about all of it is really the fact that I've been a part of helping a lot of people get incredible results. I'll never forget Catherine's phone call of almost hysterical about what had happened with her mother and how that progressed. We're now and Charlene Cole, never forget, on a 1 to 10, what's your pain? A 12, like, oh my gosh. And these people are out building teams, doing what they can to help people. And the leadership from you and to me hopefully has trickled down to them. I was talking to a guy today, not even on my team, for about an hour, 45 minutes, who saw me at the boot camp. I don't have a problem helping, sharing, what we're doing. And I told him that the three books, Florence Shinn, what am I going to say? Affirmations, I really didn't do. And as I said the other night, I was on my way to the gym 2 days ago praying for something to happen and ended up thanking for what I knew was coming, because prayer, if we believe we received it, we receive it. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, Carl was his name, up in the Villages. I said, Carl, so much is up here in the brain. And I told him someone had talked to me about, they were complaining how poor they were with IT. And I said, do you know how to get better with that? And they're like, no, what? Stop complaining about it, okay? That's how you get better. If you keep telling yourself that you're probably going to stay bad. But so financially, we're looking at 7-digit property in North Carolina. We're looking at a beach house. We love the Atlantic Ocean. We love Kitty Hawk, Nag's Head, Kill Devil. We love the 3, 4, 5, 6 foot waves. I bought a surfboard. I'm going to surf again. And we're going to get a boat. You know, I don't know if it's going to be like the Hull Wiggers, but we definitely have a boat on the list somewhere. And, or the sailors, I mean, the boat people. But, you know, this is never would have considered in all my years that we would, and we'll be, and I told Barbara, if she's not wearing a bikini, she's definitely wearing a 2 piece, and we will be, you know, oceanfront listening, and I'll be working from what I always do, my phone, helping people, and I'll build a business up there. There's no doubt in my mind, and this has been for us like nothing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
So thankful.
Gary, don't cry. You're gonna make me cry.
I told Barbara last night I was so grateful of what that where we are, and I had some people that I worked for besides this other guy that I, for whatever reason, I don't, you know, I couldn't tell you. Again, I was professional. I did a lot of things that, you know, you would think, and for whatever reason, 2 or 3 of them I can think of, I was in their top, you know, 50, whatever, and to look back and to see where we are, I'm just blown away, blown away. I'm grateful, David Schmidt. As you know, once in a lifetime, and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. The key is don't quit. No's don't matter. Keep moving forward and just keep doing. Ron Weprin, 3 years, signed up the guy whose father fought Muhammad Ali at a gym. 3 years, and Ron, manager, director, never quit. So it's amazing.
Well, Gary, you are amazing. You're absolutely amazing. And you need to remember you're in the top 30 in the world in LifeWave. You're going to be getting that water machine here in just a few weeks, being in the top 30.
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to experience that. You know, we're going to have tasting parties.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
We're going to have experience events.
yeah, real quick on that. The call, so Geraldo calls me up, and I see Geraldo. I'm like, you know, sometimes corporate, you don't really, do I want to take corporate with you, you know? And so I did, and he told me several, well, probably 3 months prior where I was into making the elite. And I said, well, cool, I know we'll get there. And so, hey, I just want you to know you're now in you're an elite SPD. And I'm thinking, hold on, I'm with you and Marcy and April and the Merritts and all, you know, and Ron Rayburn, and I'm thinking Gary Hamburg. I said to him, I said, are you sure you have the right Gary? And he kind of laughed, and I asked him, I said, Geraldo, so what does that mean, you know, elite status? And he said, you're in the top 30 income earners in the world. And I just got blown, you know,
Yeah.
blew me
Yep.
away.
We're
Hey,
going to Switzerland, buddy.
going to Switzerland, yeah. I mean, I'm a world traveler with you, and you know, people don't realize what you do for me, and you know, you're such a joy to travel and share a lot of the same things, and again, this is beyond anything that Barbara and I, again, we were going to be in an apartment, and you know, I don't know what we were. I guess we'd have lived off of some of what we were able to salvage from the mortgages and the car, but it wasn't going to be pretty. It wasn't, you know, the ending to what I thought. And God, by His mercy and grace, blessed us, and I'm so thankful. Like David, I'm simply the vessel that He used. I give Him all the credit, and this has been, like Laura Bros has said, that we're living our best life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the
you're
3% pool too. That was another thing. There's a poll or 1%. I'm not sure what it is. It's Whirlpool that you got that fancy smancy car of yours, and we're not quite to that level, but we're in with again
the leadership pool. Yes.
Pool that I just thought, what's that like? Well, it's another life way. If you work for this company and produce, they'll treat you like royalty.
Yep, and you do, Gary. You go to work every day for people, adding value to their lives. And that's what it's all about, is making a difference in other people's lives, giving God the glory, and staying consistent and persistent. And that's you, buddy. No matter if we're in a car, an Uber somewhere, we're on an airplane, we're walking down the airport, wherever we are, no matter what country we're in, Gary's got his phone there, and he's telling somebody to put their phone number in the phone because he's talking to him about the patches that's on the side of his neck or on his hand. And you're making connections and contacts and building business around the globe everywhere you are. And I'm just so proud of you, so grateful, so grateful that God blessed me with you, buddy. You're amazing. You are amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
can't say enough. Thank you so much.
We were supposed to get emotional on this Zoom, but we're both like, oh, we're just so grateful, so happy, and so grateful to be working together and helping people every single day. So thank you all for being here. I know that you had a choice in what you're doing in your life, and if LifeWave is something that works for you, if something that you want to be a part of this mission with us as we go beyond 1 billion this year, reaching over 1 billion families, please get back with the person that invited you. They're going to help you get set up with the wholesale pack that works best for you. They will share with you our onboarding strategies, tips, tools, training sites. We have everything done. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Gary, for taking the time to pour into everyone today. And I look forward to seeing you on Zoom again soon.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.